When the world's largest bombers go to war, the meaning of the conflict is transformed. Like, subscribe and share. Let's begin. It's no longer a limited skirmish or a superficial intervention. The mobilization of these gigantic platforms represents a superpower's commitment to deploying its maximum power. A power that seeks not only to destroy targets, but to break the adversary's will through an overwhelming show of force. Warfare with large strategic bombers, such as the US B-52 Stratofortress or Russia's Tu-160 Blackjack, is the embodiment of global power projection and nuclear deterrence in the modern era. The strategic bomber, by its very nature and size, is a long-range, high-payload weapon designed to fly from secure bases, cross continents and oceans, and attack high-value or massive targets. Its presence in a conflict triggers a series of events and effects ranging from tactical to the geopolitical. The psychological factor. The shadow of destruction. The first thing that happens when a giant bomber goes to war is that it generates an immediate psychological impact. The deployment of a B-52, an aircraft whose design dates back to the 1950s, but which has been constantly modernized, or the imposing T-160, the largest variable-sweep-wing supersonic bomber ever built, is a visible reminder of a nation's nuclear arsenal. The visibility of deterrence. Unlike intercontinental ballistic missiles or nuclear submarines, bombers are the visible part of the deterrence triad. Their appearance in the theater of operations, even on conventional missions, sends an unequivocal message to adversaries. The ability of a B-52 to carry 31,750 kilograms of weaponry, or that of a T-160 to transport 40,000 kilograms in the form of long-range cruise missiles, means that the attacking nation is prepared to inflict massive damage. The echo of history. These aircraft evoke images of total war. The B-52 has been in active service for nearly 7 decades and has participated in every major American conflict since the Vietnam War, including the Gulf War and operations in Afghanistan and Iraq. Its history of carpet bombing, though now primarily using precision munitions, projects a threat of destruction on a monumental scale that demoralizes opposing forces and the civilian population. Tactical role. Payload capacity and safe distance. The tactical role of these bombers is defined by their size and range. They are not designed to operate on the front line or to engage in air superiority maneuvers. Their mission is strategic bombing or long-range attack from a safe distance. Standoff platforms. In modern warfare, large bombers have been transformed into long-range missile launch platforms. The Russian T-160, known as the White Swan, rarely penetrates defended airspace, but instead launches its cruise missiles, such as the Kosh-101 or Kosh-55, from hundreds or even thousands of kilometers away from the target. This allows it to attack critical infrastructure, command centers, and military bases of the adversary without exposing itself to enemy surface-to-air missile systems. The Airborne Ordnance Depot. Despite its age, the B-52 has been continuously modernized to carry the latest smart munitions, including an impressive capacity to transport up to 20 conventional cruise missiles or up to 81 precision-guided cluster bombs. This volume of fire and weapons mix make it a flexible tool for supporting ground operations or attacking large armored formations. In the war in Afghanistan, it was crucial for its ability to launch large payloads of precision munitions in support of special forces operating on the ground. The bomb truck concept. Large bombers have become the backbone of what is known as the bomb truck doctrine. Unlike stealth fighters, such as the F-22 or F-35, which prioritize survivability with a reduced payload, the large bomber maximizes payload efficiency. A single B-52 can carry the same amount of munitions as several dozen tactical aircraft, achieving economies of scale and a concentrated impact that is unparalleled. Logistics and the challenge of vulnerability. When the world's largest bombers go to war, mobilizing the logistics behind them is an immense challenge, and their very vulnerability becomes a strategic factor. Maintenance and fuel infrastructure. The size of these aircraft requires specialized air bases and a massive amount of aviation fuel, known as GF-86, for missions of 10 hours or more. Maintaining a fleet of BE-52 or Tu-160 aircraft in a constant state of readiness demands a robust global supply chain, with tanker aircraft, known as CK-46 or CK-135, operating as support nodes. Like, subscribe, and share. Vulnerability in high-threat environments. For non-stealth, gigantic models like the B-52 and the Tu-160, warfare in highly contested airspace is an existential threat. They can no longer penetrate enemy airspace. If they face an adversary with 4th or 5th generation fighters like the Su-35 or the EFE-35, or long-range surface-to-air missile systems like the E-400, their survivability is nil without a massive escort and exhaustive air defense suppression. This vulnerability forces military planners to use them in two main scenarios: standoff attack with cruise missiles, or in asymmetric conflicts where the opposition lacks sophisticated air defenses. The strategic approach: from attack to intelligence. In modern warfare, the large bomber not only attacks, but also serves as a key platform for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, known by its acronym ISR. High-altitude aerial sensor. Giant bombers can be equipped with large sensor arrays to gather signals intelligence or high-resolution images across vast areas. Their ability to remain airborne for extended periods makes them information vacuums, capable of monitoring enemy force movements and communications throughout a theater of operations. Command and control platforms. Battle management. The size of these aircraft provides the space to accommodate mission officers and intelligence analysts on board. This allows the large bomber to act as an airborne command and control node, coordinating attacks from smaller aircraft and linking information between ground operation centers and units on the front lines. In a large-scale conflict, the resilience and ability to house advanced equipment of the B-52 or the T-160 ensure that, even if they are not the first to launch an attack, they will be the platforms of resistance that will guarantee the flow of information and the sustaining of punishment for weeks and months. The new generation. The B-21 and the future stealth giant. The future of large bombers lies in stealthy, technologically advanced models like the B-21 Raider, the United States' next long-range attack aircraft. When an aircraft like the B-21 goes to war, the game will change dramatically once again. Stealth penetration and high payload. The B-21 combines the high payload capacity of its predecessors with the low observability of a 5th or 6th generation aircraft. This means that, unlike the B-52, it can penetrate the densest air defenses of a modern adversary and deliver precision munitions, or even nuclear weapons, directly to high-value targets without being detected. The giant as a data server. The B-21 has been designed with an open systems architecture, allowing it to function as an airborne data server capable of collecting, merging, and distributing real-time intelligence to other assets in the air or on the ground. When it enters combat, its mission will not only be to drop bombs, but to act as a force multiplier for the entire strike fleet. In essence, when the world's largest bombers prepare for action, the entire world is on high alert, bracing for a potential massive escalation of hostilities. These aircraft, representing the pinnacle of military engineering, are the weapons of choice for operations requiring not only a high volume of firepower, but also intercontinental range and the ability to deliver sustained punishment over time. Their deployment is not a trivial act. It is a clear signal of the seriousness with which a nation approaches a conflict, transforming what might have been a simple tactical skirmish into a large-scale strategic campaign. In this context, the war of giant bombers becomes a large-scale chess game, where range and massive firepower become crucial determinants of the outcome. Throughout history, these aircraft have been symbols of military might and have played a decisive role in shaping geopolitical balances. The war of giant bombers is, and always has been, a struggle for global strategic dominance, where nations possessing these aircraft can project their influence and, in many cases, dictate the course of events on the international stage. The presence of these bombers implies not only destructive capability, but also a psychological component that can influence adversaries' decision-making. The ability to threaten a devastating attack can act as an effective deterrent, preventing conflicts before they even begin. Furthermore, the development and maintenance of these bombers require significant investment in technology and training, which in turn reflects a nation's willingness to commit resources to secure its position in the global order. In a world where geopolitical tensions are constantly evolving, the presence of these bombers can be the deciding factor between peace and open conflict, underscoring their importance in the dynamics of global security and in shaping future military strategies. Like, subscribe, and share. Until next time.